Well, the U.S. gives Egypt more than $1 billion in aid every year. But what exactly does that investment get us? Since Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak was driven from power, the new military government has failed to prevent Christians from being attacked and killed, despite serious concerns from our State Department. Leland Vittert is streaming live to us from Cairo. Leland?
Many people, Megan, right now would tell you that Egypt is quickly becoming a lawless country. The army went from being just that, an army, to suddenly having to not only run the country, but also keep law and order here, something that they were never really trained to do. And inside this gaping hole that has been created here in Egypt, there are some very scary folks filling the power vacuum.
Within hours of a Christian street protest starting, more than 24 died, some shot by the Egyptian army. Others ran over by tanks. It took a call from the U.S. Defense Secretary before the Egyptian army would move in to protect the Israeli embassy in Cairo from an angry mob that came within minutes of killing 6 trapped inside. And Egypt's Sinai desert is now a safe haven for al-Qaeda and Palestinian militant groups to launch attacks, including the August bus attack that killed 8 Israelis and injured more than 40.
If you want to be popular, you ought to show that you're anti-American and you're anti-Israel.
Egyptian politician Michael Munir explains the new reality as Egypt's military junta trying to keep its citizens busy with something other than protests.
It just shows how unsettled we are and how we're unable to cope with our security.
Billionaire tycoon Naguib Sawiris says the elections scheduled for a month from now don't look promising.
What's the future look like?
Dim. Bad. Instead of one Iran, you have 2.
And right now, Egypt gets $1.5 billion in U.S. aid. Much of that comes in the form of military hardware. So, Megan, as these elections come in November, you can imagine what happens if, as Sawiris predicts, an 80% chance of an Islamic hardline government taking over, they then have all of that U.S. military hardware. Megan, back to you.
Leland Vittert, thank you. Well, the president